morning, my name is Jonas Schwab, and today this is Cooking with Jonas. Today we're trying to make a hamburger healthy. The ingredients you'll need are kale, right there, pickles, parsley, ketchup, onions, tomatoes, olive oil, pepper, salt, mustard, lettuce, ground beef, and of course, the whole grain buns. You're going to want to use soap and water to make sure you get all the dirt off your hands. As you can see, make sure you do a thorough job. Now that my hands are clean, we can do the first step of actually cooking. First step is peeling the onions. Here's my trusty onion right here. Next step, now that our onion is peeled, you're going to cut off each end of the stem. And then cut it into 4 sections. Now that our onions are chopped, we have to put them in here. So first, don't plug the machine in yet for safety reasons, but take your parsley and your 4/4 of onions and put them in. Just toss those bad boys in there. And then of course, your parsley. Now that we have all the stuff in the machine, we can actually plug it in and start to cut it up. Now it's going to get chopped up. Now that our parsley and our onions are chopped, make sure that the machine is unplugged, and then to safely remove it, make sure you do it super carefully. Remove the blade from the machine before you start removing the parsley and the onions. Put this in a safe spot where no one will get cut. And then remove the parsley. So now we have our chopped parsley and our meat in the bowl. And to keep it on the healthy side, I'm only going to put 1/2 tablespoon of salt and pepper, which I will carefully measure out, as reducing the salt is more healthy. You don't want too much. And then, of course, pepper. Now you're just going to get your hands dirty by mixing all of this together. This much meat now fully mixed together into a ball. We will cut it up into 4 pieces to make 4 patties. Very appetizing. Just want to take a bite out of that. Okay. This is why washing your hands at the very beginning is very key, so that you're not getting your grimy fingers all over. With this 4 cuts of meat, you're just going to make 4 pretty medium-sized patties for your hamburger. Between steps, it's important to wash your hands so that you're not getting raw meat all over your other utensils. Heating up your pan, you're going to want to put some olive oil on so that it has something to heat up before adding the meat. Stove on to medium heat, about there. And then once it heats up, we're going to add the patties. Today we're using olive oil instead of some alternatives like animal fat, which, as it is a more healthy option. Yeah, go. So at the store yesterday, I chose the leanest beef I could find, with only 5% fat, to make this hamburger even healthier. I'm gonna cook each side for 5 minutes, flipping it over after 5 minutes, and then cooking the other side for 5 minutes. Okay, while the meat is cooking, we're gonna go ahead and cut some tomatoes, wash them and all that. Before you cut up your tomato and put it on your hamburger, make sure you wash it. An easy rinse of water is far enough. It's enough. Just lightly dry your tomato off and then get to cutting. Right? I cut it, I accidentally cut it wrong, but we can make do with this by just cutting it in slices. I'm gonna now toast my bread. Make sure it's not plugged in until you actually start it. Now I'm gonna slice the pickle that I'll put on the hamburger. And of course the pickle we'll put on the side. Make sure you do not cut your fingers. Now that my bread is done, I'm going to make sure that I take it out safely. And then it's time to take the hamburgers off the stove. So this one can go on the side. This one is also good. And I'm going to take the smallest patty for myself because of portion sizing so that I do not overeat. Next, now that our burgers are off the stove, I'm going to smear some mustard and ketchup on the top. That is plenty. And of course, your favorite ketchup. Make sure you put plenty of that on there. Now that our top bun is ready, take your bottom bun. You're going to want to put some pickles on there. However many you like. Maybe some tomatoes. Oops. And then of course, to keep it healthy, gotta have some green. And then your burger is done. Now, instead of having fries as the side to my burger, which I unfortunately already ate, we're making kale chips as a healthy alternative, so you can have a healthy, tasty snack. First step, you're going to want to put the kale chips on, well first, put some wax paper down to protect your plate, and then put these kale chips, which I have washed and dried using the sink. Now, I'm just going to go through and rip the kale into smaller pieces, making sure that I get all of the stems out of there. Now I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil all over it. Oops, don't want to put too much. Oops, but you do want like a steady stream of olive oil. And then salt and pepper. I'm just going to spend some time mixing it up, making sure that the olive oil and the salt and pepper are all evenly spread across all the kale chips. Now, to make sure that I don't burn my hands, I'm going to use some nice classy oven mitts. Grab my pan, open up the oven, which I've preheat to 350, and toss these kale chips in there. Maybe sideways. You're just gonna let that bake until the edges are brown. Okay, y'all, just turned the oven off. Now I'm gonna take the kale chips out. Place them on a safe surface.